Welcome to my happy place, the Costco warehouse. And this is your official guide to shopping Costco in 2025. And we're gonna walk around every nook and cranny.
Costco is more than simply a retailer. It's an American institution, a location where families go to get toilet paper and rotisserie chickens, only to depart with a kayak, an industrial-sized jar of pickles, and a flat-screen TV they didn't want to buy. It is a warehouse utopia, but underneath the broad aisles, concrete floors, and a lure of free samples, is a business plan that is considerably more strategic and contentious than you might expect. With roughly 850 warehouses globally and more than 125 million paying customers, Costco has quietly emerged as one of the most powerful forces in retail. It generates over $240 billion in sales each year, and it does it without traditional advertising, attractive shop designs, or a diverse product offering, just massive parcels and the promise of a bargain. But there is a catch. You have already committed to Costco's rules the moment you walk in, via your membership, data, and purchasing patterns. You're not simply shopping. You're part of a well-organized consumer ecosystem. And like any system that appears too good to be true, there are some things you should know before purchasing the next 64-pack of granola bars. Let's start from the very beginning, how this empire was founded. Costco did not begin with sophisticated marketing strategies or celebrity endorsements. It began with concrete flooring and bulk materials. Costco's first warehouse opened in Seattle in 1983, created by Jim Sinegal and Jeffrey Brotman, but its origins may be traced back to 1976, when a guy named Saul Price opened a business called Price Club and pioneered the warehouse club idea. Price Club targeted small companies. The premise was simple: sell vast numbers at minimal markups while requiring a paid membership to shop. Costco and Price Club united in 1993, becoming a wholesale superpower. From that moment on, the formula was set: big volume, cheap pricing, and little frills. Costco now operates in over a dozen countries and generates billions of dollars in revenue yearly. However, the store's appearance and feel have remained quite consistent since its inception. There are no shelves, only pallets. There's no ambient music or mood lighting, no plastic bags. That minimalist style is not a result of laziness. It is intentional. Every aspect of the Costco experience is designed to save money, including a no-frills presentation, low SKU counts, usually only 4,000 distinct goods, and an efficient supply chain that moves inventory quickly. What most people see as chaotic and enormous is in fact a logistical masterpiece based on discipline and efficiency. But underlying the discipline is something more powerful than price tags: trust. Costco's brand has gained near religious devotion, demonstrating its ability to build trust. Kirkland's signature. It's more than simply Costco's house brand. It's a sensation. Kirkland dominates the Costco shelves, selling everything from toilet paper and batteries to vodka, cashmere sweaters, and dog food. In fact, 1 out of every 4 items sold at Costco bears the Kirkland signature mark. And here's the best part: consumers adore it. Some people prefer it over name brands, but most people are unaware that Kirkland is frequently manufactured by the very businesses it competes with, just discreetly, under stringent contracts. What about their batteries? Duracell manufactured this product. What about their vodka? It's rumored to be rebranded as Grey Goose. What about their diapers? Previously produced by Huggies' parent business. Costco does not boast about this. That is part of the approach. By using their purchasing muscle, they force name brand manufacturers to create Kirkland products under white label agreements at cheaper costs and with stricter quality control. It's a gain for Costco and a quiet concession for the major brands, who'd rather have the business than lose shelf space. What was the result? Kirkland's signature items generate more than $58 billion in yearly sales alone. That's more than Coca-Cola and Nike's combined annual sales. But it's not all about the savings. Costco utilizes Kirkland to foster loyalty. If you trust the private label, you also trust Costco. And once you believe them, you no longer question the price or the product. You just buy, again and again. But don't be fooled. Kirkland is more than simply a brand. It's an effective technique for consumer conditioning. And this is only the beginning of how Costco keeps you locked in. Costco's secret weapon isn't bulk merchandise or even its low prices. This is your membership card. You've already paid Costco before entering the store. That yearly cost, which is $60 for basic membership and $120 for executive membership, earns more than $5 billion in pure profit each year. And here's the unexpected twist. That revenue isn't just more padding. It is the basis of their whole company concept. Unlike typical retailers that rely on product markups for profit, Costco sells the majority of its merchandise at razor-thin margins. often just 10 to 15% over cost. This implies that your membership money is what keeps the lights on. It's why Costco can sell $5 rotisserie chickens and 50 packs of cookies for almost nothing. However, this model only works if you renew. So Costco plans everything from the maze-like structure to the free samples and treasure hunt atmosphere to keep you coming back. They limit product options to avoid choice fatigue and boost impulsive purchases. They rotate the merchandise just enough to keep you interested. A fact, those iconic deals, the $1.50 hot dog and Coke combo, have remained unchanged for decades, not because they earn money, but because they foster goodwill. It's a psychological contract. You pay to feel like an insider, and in exchange, you get discounts and exclusive access. However, it also locks you in. Once you become a member, you are more likely to shop there on a regular basis, spend more money, and stay for years. Costco preserves loyalty like gold. Costco is frequently commended for compensating its employees better than competitors such as Walmart and Amazon. With beginning pay of $17, $18 per hour, full-time benefits, and prospects for growth, it is regarded as a shining example in the retail industry. But beyond the surface, the narrative becomes more convoluted. While employees typically rank Costco higher than comparable big-box shops, there have been ongoing concerns about overwork, understaffing, and burnout, particularly during the COVID-19 epidemic. Workers in congested areas report feeling overwhelmed, owing to heavy traffic and little personnel. Many people believe that carrying heavy items, managing endless carts, and handling high-volume checkout lines takes a physical toll, particularly on senior employees. Then there's the matter of internal promotions. While Costco prides itself on hiring from inside, some employees claim that the system is opaque and favors specific demographics or long-term loyalty above quality. Others say management is hit and miss, with encounters varied greatly between stores. Costco's anti-union attitude has also sparked criticism. While a few facilities in Canada and New York are unionized, the firm has fought hard to keep unions out of the majority of its warehouses. Critics contend that while Costco treats employees better than competitors, it nonetheless retains tight control and opposes worker organizing. So certainly, working at Costco may be preferable to working at most stores. But that doesn't make it flawless. Behind the welcoming smiles and speedy service is a crew that is often stretched thin in order to keep the machine operating properly. Costco may place a more emphasis on its employees than others, but at the end of the day, it remains a company. Costco's food court and grocery areas are famed, but not without controversy. The firm has had several product recalls throughout the years. These include metal fragments in frozen dinners, E. coli in veggies, and listeria in frozen fruit blends. Plastic particles were discovered in Costco's Kirkland signature tortilla soup containers in 2020, prompting a recall. In 2022, Kirkland organic strawberries were related to a hepatitis A epidemic that stretched across many states. Costco usually reacts swiftly, using its computerized monitoring system to notify consumers through purchase data. However, opponents claim that their relentless focus on pricing and volume may force suppliers to cut shortcuts. And there's the chicken. Costco sells more than 100 million rotisserie chickens each year at a price of $4.99, which has not changed since the mid-2000s. However, maintaining that low price costs Costco a lot of money, an estimated $200 million every year. Why keep it this low? Because it attracts customers to the store, where they are more likely to make purchases. To secure this loss leader, Costco constructed its own $450 million chicken processing factory in Nebraska, giving them direct control over the poultry supply chain. However, that facility has faced criticism for animal welfare issues, water usage concerns, and legal battles over local pollution. What's the lesson? While Costco's food operations appear to be clean and well run, they are actually the result of a complex and sometimes problematic system, one that entails aggressive cost control, tight supplier management, and intense pressure to maintain the appearance of effortless abundance. When it comes to sustainability, Costco makes big claims. Their website proudly lists goals for lowering carbon emissions, improving supply chain ethics, and reducing packaging waste. However, peeling back the layers makes it unclear whether this is genuine progress or clever marketing. For example, Costco has pledged to switch to cage-free eggs and responsibly source seafood, which sounds fantastic. However, watchdog groups have noted that the timelines are ambiguous, the enforcement mechanisms are ineffective, and progress reports are frequently missing. In 2022, a class action lawsuit claimed that Costco's chicken supply chain, specifically at their Nebraska plant, was responsible for animal cruelty, despite being part of their ethical sourcing promise. Then there's the packaging issue. Walk through any Costco, and you'll see a sea of plastic clamshell containers, shrink wrap, and single-use trays. While they've taken some strides toward giving reusable bags and minimizing plastic pallets, the overwhelming volume of trash connected to bulk packaging remains a huge concern. Environmental organizations have also criticized Costco for neglecting to properly publish emissions data and for lagging behind competitors in implementing renewable energy sources in its warehouses. The issue isn't that Costco is doing nothing, it's that it presents little achievements as huge ones. That is typical greenwashing, the appearance of environmental concern, but no genuine structural change. Shoppers may feel good about choosing Kirkland organic or sustainable products, but those words don't always mean what we think they do. Without transparency, oversight, and measurable accountability, the green halo Costco wears is more of a carefully polished illusion than a hard-earned badge of honor. Costco isn't simply a store, it's a machine. A wonderfully built, extremely efficient machine that delivers customers what they want. Huge items, low pricing, and a sensation of getting more for less. For millions of families, it's a lifeline during times of inflation and economic crisis. But beyond those concrete floors and plentiful samples is a more nuanced picture. From labor strain and animal welfare problems to greenwashing and food safety difficulties, Costco walks a tightrope between efficiency and ethics. Its private label business survives on disguised sourcing. Its chicken costs millions but earns devotion. And its sustainability claims, although showy, nonetheless leave many concerns unresolved. Does this imply you should stop buying there? Not necessarily. However, it does mean that you should shop wisely. Before you return to Costco, be aware that you are entering a well-oiled system based on scale, volume, and planned psychology, one that works exceptionally well for them and in many cases, for you. Remember that in the world of bulk offers and membership advantages, nothing is truly free. And now that you know the complete tale, you can decide what you actually want to buy.